Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Barely Necessities. That's where we at laughingplace.com talk about the latest Disney merchandise out there. I'm the site's co-founder, Rebecca Mosley, and with me is our site manager, Rebecca Burbank. Oh, how was your Labor Day weekend, Becca?
It was good. We actually went to St. Louis. My brother lives in Oregon, and he was traveling home from North Carolina. So
Wow.
he was in St. Louis, and he said he had a long layover. Would we like to come and hang out? And so I got to meet my niece, and she's 18 months, and she's so cute. She was so smiley. So I got to see my brother, my sister-in-law, and my niece, and we had a really great time. How about you?
Oh, that's fantastic. I had a whirlwind weekend of ballparks, and I'm going to talk about that when we get to this week's Sensational Seven because it inspired my shopping list. So I'm going to hold on to what I did, but boy, was it fun. So stick around. Gio stopping by to say howdy. Nikki B stopping by to say howdy. Thank you. And if you notice they have those fun little icons, that's because they're subscribers to our site. We appreciate that. And that's my husband. He's currently traveling still. He's down in Orange. No, he's down in Burbank, not Orange County, down in Burbank.
Wow.
But yeah, we've got a lot of merchandise to talk about, and we're starting off with some stuff for your cell phones.
Yeah, I thought these were really, really cute, and they're like breakfast themed. It's from Popsocket. I mean, who doesn't want some Disney breakfast themed accessories for their phones?
I love it. You've got some like little Mickey Mouse looking fried egg that you can do as a little pop socket. You've got Mickey Mouse waffle if you're a fan of that. And then for the cases themselves, you've also got a lot of these, I don't know, kind of like dining designs available. These are really sweet. And for some reason, my computer just all of a sudden decided not to serve up any images. It was there.
Oh.
So you'll have to pop over to Popsockets.
To Popsockets, yes.
To see them. But in the meantime, let me pull them up here on Laughing Place for you to take a peek. Wow, my computer's just not going to show me any right now.
Isn't that cute? Like, it's a fried egg.
Yeah, no, I love it. Nice bright yellow as well. I have a couple of other images. They're on the smaller side, but at least they're coming up. Nice little grid pattern there. With Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Moving over to kind of local, if you're going to be visiting Walt Disney World, there's the Florida Mall nearby. It's in Orlando. It's not terribly far away. And a new location has opened up there with some Disney items.
Yeah, so this is, I think it's Primark. I hope I'm saying that right. We showcased some of their stuff back for the Disney 100 celebration, and I keep seeing more and more things about them and their collaborations with Disney. And yeah, now they're at the Florida Mall with their own store. You can get all sorts of stuff. This is kind of that fast fashion, really reasonable pricing. And if you don't want to buy stuff at the Disney parks, but you do want to head over to Florida Mall, you can find all sorts of stuff. I like the Stitch flip-flops. I thought those were cute.
Yeah, no, there's a wide assortment as well, because you've got things ranging from these Stitch slides to forks and hair items and little zippy bags and all kinds of things. So if you're a Disney fan, and as Becca said, it's a nice price range. This is a Minnie Mouse plush, and she's $17. And we all know that is not the typical price tag you're going to see on a Minnie Mouse plush, especially of this size. I mean, you're lucky to get a shoulder plush.
Right.
And as Kyle points out, let's see. Becca, I guess you got to try some of their sweats.
Yes. Yeah. They have a long, like an oversized sweatshirt that's like fuzzy on the outside. It's super comfortable, pairs great with leggings. And then they also sent us a pair of sweatpants and a matching sweatshirt. And I asked for a size medium based on what I thought their sizing was like on their website. You can't buy their stuff on the website, but you can view items on their website. And so based on that, I thought medium will fit, and medium was really big on me. So comfortable and slouchy, and like if you just want to be cozy and cute with your yeah.
And then I was just in New York and I noticed a Primark at Town Square. So it is, I guess it's an Irish brand, right? That's now made its way over to the US, as I recall. But Marshall wrote it up beautifully on Laughing Place. We'll have a link below so you can learn more about what's available there and their new location at the Florida Mall. So if you don't have one near you, maybe you want to tack that on to your Walt Disney World vacation plan, a little trip over to the Florida Mall. If you're traveling over to the West Coast, they've decided to give you a little peek at what's coming for the holidays here at the Disneyland Resort area.
I know. I can't believe we're already talking holiday decor, holiday shopping, holiday merchandise. I've been impressed with everything they've done the past like 5 years with each year. I'm like, how are they going to top last year? And they managed to do it. This year, I feel like their colors are a little bit, well, last year was colorful too, but I like this. This feels a little bit more classic Christmas colors to me with the red and green hues that they picked. I like this assortment a lot.
I appreciate that they're really leaning in heavy on Mickey and Minnie primarily. The recent collections we've seen has been kind of like Mickey and Friends. And so to have these adorable Mickey Mouse snowmen on the ears and on this plushy jacket. And then, sorry, let me go back to the main icon. You've got the Christmas tree with just Mickey and Minnie, just the two of them. And this blend of little Mickey like twinkle light shapes along the design on this Spirit jersey is red and gold and silver in tone. I'm quite fond of the look. It's a nice design they've gone with.
And I love how some of it is like Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, and then there's a bunch of it that's just like winter holidays or just festive winter. If you don't celebrate Christmas, you can still have fun with this collection.
Exactly. No, I'm excited to see it in person. It's going to be coming to places like World of Disney, Emporium, Elias and Company. So, and then when the festival season hits, they also have at their sister park across the Esplanade there, the Festival of Holidays. And as always, the graphics here represent the variety of celebrations that are happening as winter comes along. The various celebrations that center around lights, like Hanukkah. So yeah,
Diwali, right? Is Diwali?
Thank you. Could you tell I was trying to come up with that? It was like not coming to mind, and I'm like, oh, it's so frustrating. Yes.
Well, and I think even Kwanzaa too, right? Like Kwanzaa, they've got that. So yeah, I really
makes sense because it's the time of year when it's a shorter day, and so the fact that so many cultures have their winter celebrations are kind of focused around light, and then the whole notion of a small act, kind of perpetuating and growing as the candle is a single candle, and then it gets more and more, and it's just so beautiful. So sorry.
No, I agree. I'm looking forward to these collections.
These are really pretty. The snowflakes are beautiful as well. Let's see. Next up, Becca, we have food and wine.
Yeah, we're just hopping around to the parks and to the not so much in the online sphere as what's available in parks, but I mean, this is what we're here to look at, right? Like this is part of the barely necessities. You're like
I'm gonna say that this year I'm not as these designs for Flower and Garden are not connecting with me.
Food and wine.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Food and wine.
Sorry.
They're leaning more into that cartoony look that we saw with the Disney Eats collection. With the really, I like the kind of Flower Power-esque fonts that are being used and color scheme, but for whatever reason, the graphics of like the foods themselves are not appealing to me in a similar way that I found myself feeling about the Disney Eats. What's your take on this particular one? There's several lines. If you don't like this one, there's other ones that you're going to want as a souvenir of the festival.
Yeah, no, I love that we have Figment featured. I love that he's part of all of the festivals at Epcot, but I'm going to agree with you. This is not jumping out to me as something that like I would want to be adding to my collection.
Yeah, it's but it does feel like it's specific. It feels like it has as a nostalgia kick for someone who maybe it's not me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's somebody who's looking at that going, "Oh, that reminds me of X." For Geo, kind of feels Schoolhouse Rock to him. I can see that. I can see that as well. And then they've got this is carried over to the interior of the mug. We'll have the various items like grapes and wine glasses and whatnot. Now, then we have this line with Mickey, Chef Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
They're representing Mickey here in what is funny to me because it feels very Warner Brothers, very Animaniacs.
It does.
But,
it really does.
But I do like it. He's quite adorable. I love the color. I appreciate it when the theme parks do not offer specific black or white.
Mm-hmm.
White because it gets too dirty, black because it's very hot.
I know. This is that perfect medium there.
So I appreciate when they give you something in between. And then these designs are also featured on other items, including I think it's a ceramic. It might not be, but it looks visually like a ceramic measuring cup set. And then Remy coming in with a bright color. How about this?
Yeah. I'm liking the Remy collection. This is a lot of fun.
The burgundy really I'm going to call it burgundy teal. This is a nice blend. The idea of time to eat with the clock design on the back of the tea, that is so much fun. And the reminder to only eat the good stuff.
Yes.
Because you are what you eat, right? You are what you eat. So only eat the good stuff. I mean, I like the advice. We're all trying to eat cleaner nowadays.
That's right.
If you're looking for a koozie, do you call this a koozie or a cozy?
I would probably call it a koozie. Did you call them cozies?
I had been calling them cozies, but recently I was listening to the podcast and they were calling it a koozie. I'm like, oh, maybe it's a koozie. And I've just been saying it wrong all these years.
I don't know. Cozy's kind of fun. There you go. Laughing Place needs to come up with their own line of these, and we can call them Laughing Place Cozies.
there you
An
go.
alternative to koozies.
But you have Remy. It's a nice variety of yummy treats. And it's a 28 ounce. They say it's a 28 ounce beverage sleeve. I really wonder like what that's going to slide on. But
that seems too big. Like, I don't know. If you're going to have, at least I'm picturing, if you're having a water bottle or anything that's going to be large enough to fit in there, it's not going to be cold to the touch that you would want the koozie or cozy. But it's going to be too big for a can of soda, right?
I like how Kyle says, cozies are to koozies as toothpick holders are to shot glasses.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's what's happened to me. Because for those of you who don't know, for the longest time, if you went to Disney and you found one of those little glasses, it was never labeled a shot glass. It was a toothpick holder, even though we all knew, but it was labeled a toothpick holder. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If is it for wine?
Okay.
Is it a wine bottle dynamic that we're looking at here? Because it feels a very wide base to be something for like it's not going to be a 12 ounce, right? Where it's not like a beer. So although I don't know what the average,
I guess that math works out because I think like you usually get 3 to 4 glasses out of a bottle of wine, like 8 ounce glasses, which brings us up to like 24-ish ounces. So maybe a little bit more, that half cup there. So 750 milliliter bottle. I can see that.
I haven't gotten into the hard seltzers, so I have no idea if they tend to range in that. I'm still a beer drinker, so I'm still just doing that. So yeah. Let's see. They've also got this beautiful set of, I call them salad servers. It's a wooden fork and spoon silhouettes of Remy, and nice little throw in of Spaceship Earth for you. And then Lug is here.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And the purple color is so good. Like, I like that they steered away from the gray of the mouse, but also you're kind of in that realm. It's really, really good.
And check out the inside. Look at this design. You know that I'm a fan of a very light colored inside, a bright colored inside, because then when you open it up to look in for whatever it is you're trying to find, what inevitably is at the bottom of your bag,
you can see it.
Easier to do that, because otherwise you're looking for your chapstick. It's at the bottom of your bag. It blends in with the bottom of your bag. It's gonna pop against this background here. So that's the Lug bag. Muppet Labs.
Yep.
T-shirts. I don't know if you saw, but they have a Muppet Labs photo op that apparently got trashed by people in like a day. So it's backstage now, I guess. The rumors are it is getting kind of refreshed to come back out. But it's one of those things where people just manhandle and grab at stuff. And so, yeah, so all the little cute little touches on it, I guess, kind of just broke off over the course of the day. So it'll be interesting to see if it does come back, what its redesign is. However, in the meantime, Muppet Labs, you can bring home a t-shirt. They also have this engraved beaker-esque glass for you. And on the back side of it, it has the Epcot logo for this year. So you can enjoy a beverage out of the Muppet Labs container. If you're a pass holder, they have some cute designs like Mickey and Minnie. Can I just say how amazing this would have been if they were eating off the top of a trash can?
Yes. And I love this. I'm not a pass holder, but this is probably one of the first things that I would purchase if I were going to be at Food and Wine.
I also wish they'd go more subtle with the pass holder label.
I know, but yeah, I really like this graphic or the image there. I like the colors that they went with. Like, all of it is so good.
I'll admit, at first glance, I thought he had like a Charlie Brown diet.
Oh yeah.
Then I realized it was his arm. but
no, I can see it. And I don't even have to try hard to see it. Yep.
Yeah, it was like at first glance, I was like, okay. Let's see. Gio pointing out the picnic. Oh, sorry, Kyle pointing out the picnic menu is a salute to all food and wine selections, but mostly sushi. So true, but sushi is where it rocked. And exactly, Gio. I would be all in on this shirt if it didn't say pass holder in big, huge letters. I would rather it say it not at all. But if it's gonna say it, maybe be subtle. Put it on the sleeve, or something a little bit. Because I don't know. I don't know why. I just have never been the person to be like, I'm a pass holder. Look, it's just not been my cup of tea. And then if you are someone who has enjoyed the various scavenger hunts from year to year, this year your redemption items are these you get to pick from one of these adorable bowl designs. Usually these are as supplies last. So if you see one that you're particularly fond of, I would say do it sooner than later. For Ratatouille hide and squeak. You go around, you see where Ratatouille is, you put the right sticker in the right slot, you bring it back to the redemption center, and you get to take home one of these items. So
yeah. No, that's always something that, I mean, I say always. The few times we have been at Epcot when there was a festival going on, we usually like to do the scavenger hunt or whatever type of thing it is. It's fun. It's inexpensive, and then you get to look for stuff all around World Showcase. We love doing it. So yeah, I would suggest, highly recommend it.
Kyle is correct. Not nor very mindful.
No.
Okay. Moving on. We have some BaubleBar ear hats. An ear hat.
Headband. It's okay.
Ear band. It's a band.
Yes. So this is brand new today at Disney Store, and I I'm a big fan of this. I think this is fantastic. And I love that it's like slightly elegant, and it would be a perfect accessory for a variety of Halloween costumes. Whether you want to go all in on your look, or you just are like, I need a little Minnie Mouse to complete my Halloween spirit. But yeah, we've got these little like rhinestone or like gem encrusted spider webs. There's a little bit of mesh over the ears to kind of help sell that spider web look, and then a lovely velour bow.
Yeah, and if you haven't picked up BaubleBar ear headband yet, they are a little different weighted than the ones at the parks. They have a little bit more substance to them. I am told they are weighted nicely. I have not purchased them myself, but others who wear ear hats tell me such. With this one, I appreciate they did not put sequins on the part that extends around your ears. That is something that you have purchased and discovered how uncomfortable that can be, having those sequins on the back of your head. In fact, I just saw Disney Food Blog earlier today shared some amazing gold sequin ears, and I noticed that the ear band part is actually not sequined, and so I'm like, oh, this is good. I think this is nice, because yeah, I like the sparkle up top, but along the sides it can be uncomfortable. So but these with BaubleBar, nice velour on the sides, so you can give yourself a nice cushy experience behind the ears. Continuing with the Halloween vibe, a adorable popcorn bucket is on the way.
It's supposed to be scary, but it's not scary. Nope. No, it's super, super cute. So it is Scary Teddy from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And yeah, this popcorn bucket's going to be at both Magic Kingdom and at the Disneyland Resort. So I think that's always a win when it's at both resorts.
Yes, exactly. It will be available during the Not So Scary Halloween party down in Florida. And it sounds like it's coming to Disneyland a little bit later on. So stay tuned for its availability. We'll find out. I'm sorry, but how is this a demonic teddy bear? That's what they describe it as. But I'm sorry, that thing is just way cute.
I mean, like, he looks like he's into some mischief, but I don't know that I would say demonic.
I'm like, am I forgetting something about this? Does he like go around gnawing off the arms of citizens of Christmas Town or something, and I just don't remember, but okay.
I mean, he is a scary teddy, so you're like, I don't remember. I've seen the movie once, and it was like a year or two ago, so it's been recent, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like
are we sure he's not so scary teddy? Maybe we'll vote to change his name. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to talk to some of my Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas pals and see if I'm forgetting something, because all I see is like something that's a little, like you say, mischievous, playful, but scary. If I encounter that in a dark alley, I'm not going save.
You're like, come on, let's hang out.
Yeah, I'll cuddle with you a little bit. It's okay.
Right.
Meanwhile, the merchandise we're about to show you, okay, this is some scary stuff, because this is from Halloween Horror Nights over at Universal, and they do scary. I don't even go. I try and be out of that park hours before the event begins, because then that scariness starts to creep in early on. And it is not my cup of tea.
I went for the first time last year, and looking at the haunted houses that they have this year, I definitely made the right choice going last year. So not that there's anything wrong with these. It just like these don't appeal to me the way last year's did. So I'm like, wow, that worked out really well. But I love this.
I'm guessing are these the various house experiences that you're going to encounter, Becca?
I believe so. At least that's what I understand it to be.
That's how it strikes me. Because I have heard people talking about various houses. This one is blacklight reactive, which seems to be a wise move if you're going to wear something to Halloween Horror Nights. And once again, see, this thing I would not want to encounter in an alley. I'm fine, but no, this guy, no thank you. But thank you. Got the Halloween 24 Horror Nights beanies. I mean, you name it, they threw that logo on it. Bucket hats, t-shirts, fanny packs, backpacks, lanyards. It's all there. They have see, Donna understands. She agrees with me. This is scary. They have a special freestyle cup, so you can refill it. And then I think I agree with the person I saw who tweeted the other day that they need to add to the app where the freestyle station actually has ice, because that is one of the challenges, especially of Horror Nights. I don't know if you ran into that the evening you were there, Becca.
I didn't, but we only went to like we only stopped at 2 places for food. So, and I was a one-time guest, so I wasn't going to invest in anything like that.
I love the fact that Universal parks are freestyle in Orlando are freestyle parks, because it means I can switch back and forth between soda or non-soda. Yeah, well, no, they do the I'll end up doing Powerade.
Oh yeah,
vitamin water, and they even have like ginger ale. I mean, the variety is amazing. And then once again, you can go just sparkling water with a hint of something.
Mm-hmm.
The variety is awesome, but the challenge is that their machines don't often. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say often. You can encounter machines that don't have ice, and as the day wears on, you learn that if you're walking by a freestyle machine and there's no line to access it, because there's usually like maybe 3 or 4 people to access it. If there's no line, it's because there's no ice.
I know. And in Florida, you need the ice.
Yeah, no. So there you go. There's my little thing about freestyle. But sorry, but no, see, this is too scary for me. I'm not even going to hang on it long. I'm just going to let you know.
You're fine.
There you go. And then they have these adorable pin collections focused on some of the characters that they want you to think are cute and adorable, but they're scary. However, Lil Boo.
Yep.
Cute.
I'm liking Little Boo. I really like the little succulent planter. I think
I had that. I pulled that up because I thought that was the cutest thing.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too. I was scrolling through. I'm like, I would definitely get that.
Yeah. And they've got it featured on various designs. Little Boo this year, even a plush. They have a nice little plush necklace. If you are a fan of Horror Nights, keep in mind they do a weekly magnet release, and it's going to be celebrating various of those houses or mazes. I don't recall which they call them. I know it's a thing on the West Coast, East Coast, what you call them. So don't at me, but I'm going to just stick with that. They have a Ghostbusters spirit jersey and a few items celebrating Ghostbusters. I haven't seen this movie. Have you seen this movie, Becca?
The original, yes, not the new stuff. So I have a lot of Ghostbuster viewing to catch up on.
I've seen part of Ghostbusters 2 because it was on my plane flight to Tokyo. And so I had nothing else to do except it was there in front of my face. It was a combination of Batman and Ghostbusters 2, as I recall.
Okay.
So yeah,
which Batman?
Double feature. The Michael Keaton.
Okay.
And a Penguin was in it, so I don't know which one of those that was the original one or not, but that was the one. Kyle thinks Little Boo is just a Jack Skellington pumpkin. Okay, let's look. Let me see. Oh, I see that. Okay, yeah. I can see that argument. Okay.
They're like, well, Disney has Jack Skellington. We'll come up with Little Boo.
And I guess there's a really popular house. This guy, I think his name is Major Sweets, and they've got some merchandise celebrating it. So if you're excited about that particular spookiness, know that they are more highly featuring that character within their merchandise as well. Okay, now that I'm sufficiently spooked out, we're to a more pleasant dynamic, and that is our Marvel hits of the week. And this week we're focusing on a couple of books.
Yeah, there's a comics library, Avengers Volume 2, as you can see there, from 1965 to 1967. And yeah, these beautiful hardback books that have just all of the comics, from the golden years of Stan Lee and
Were you
Don Deck.
Were you a comic reader? Because the comics I had were in hardbound. They were decades worth hardbound growing up. Did you have any in your home when you were younger, Becca?
Somebody gifted my brother like the DC comics, like the early Batman comics, and it was a hardcover book. And I don't know what happened to that book, but we loved looking over that. Every once in a while, we'd get the paperback books from the omnibus or the I'm saying that wrong maybe, but we would get the book with all of the comics inside of it, and we'd get those from the library. We'd pick up the Archies every once in a while, but yeah, not so much. I know those were so much fun.
Archie was the one around my house. I had the big, thick, like a collection of them from the beginning until the modern era. And then when my dad would go to the grocery store, every now and again he'd grab a Double Digest or a Betty and Veronica off the stand and bring it home. So yeah, I can relate to that 100%. So if you want to pass on that tradition in your home, maybe you have kids around your house, go ahead. You can pick up one of these.
Yep.
And then you can have it around the house and they can stumble on comics and then they'll be like us and talk about the hardcover collections Peanuts was another one that we had in our house. A nice collection of Peanuts. I'm pretty sure I still have that one somewhere on a shelf around here. And moving on to our Star Wars hit this week, it is some Roosevelts because our very own Mike Celestino got to give those a try. I don't know if you had a chance to talk to him yet, Becca.
No, not since not for a while. He told me that he had published this and I was like, okay, cool, I'll check it out. Love the photos. He always has great photos. But no, I haven't talked with him.
He was actually, as I recall, this was part of one of our teammates' bachelor party over there at the Disneyland Resort. And so he was styling the Roosevelts during all that fun. And in his article, he talks about all the compliments he got wearing these Roosevelts button-ups, one of them being the chosen one. I guess right? It's the chosen one. And then the
Art of Wars. And then, yes, the other one, the golden one.
The golden one. I knew the word one was in there. There you go. The golden one with C-3PO in the midst of all the Ewoks. And then the other one is the beautiful artwork and concepts and whatnot for the Star Wars trilogy. So these designs are right up Mike's alley. And he enjoyed wearing them around the park and getting lots of compliments as he did so. Thank you to our friends at Roosevelt's.
Yes.
So, Becca, as I briefly mentioned at the kind of the beginning, I had a whirlwind of 4 days recently. I took part in the inaugural ESPN experiences. It was a lot of fun. We booked a trip for the family. Benji booked the trip for the family. We went. It was the four of us. It was Ben, Doobie, Gideon, and I. And it was a tour that took you through some of the beautiful stadiums of the Northeast. We got to enjoy a game from the top of the Green Monster. We enjoyed a game over at Yankee Stadium. Enjoyed another one with the Philly fanatic who stopped by when we were watching the Phillies play. We had the chance to meet some ESPN personalities, Carl Ravitch and the team from Sunday Night Baseball. But my highlight was something I never thought I'd get to do, and that was stopping by Bristol, Connecticut, and being around ESPN studios. And they gave us amazing access. This is the four of us at the Sports Center desk. We got to be in the control, like the control. I call it. It was like mission control, being in the studios there, and while we were at the games, not only did we have a lot of fun watching the games, but ESPN personalities stopped by, including Arta from my favorite ESPN podcast, which actually, Becca, is not a sports podcast.
Okay.
It's a Star Wars podcast.
ESPN has a Star Wars podcast?
It's called Never Tell Me the Odds.
Oh, okay.
And a trio of ESPNers get together and discuss Star Wars. They're passionate about Star Wars, and they're also passionate about sports, and they find a way to bring the two together. Sometimes they will just directly do like recaps of the show or whatever or whatnot, but in some cases they kind of do that ESPN Star Wars hybrid. My favorite of that is they did a draft. So think like your football draft, you're trying to put together a team, but in that world of Star Wars, so it was all critters based.
Oh.
So they're talking about the pluses and minuses of various critters within Star Wars, and such a blast. No, actually, Kyle, it's funny. This is another guy from the podcast. At D23, I got to talk to Ryan McGee, who's on that podcast. So the only one I have left is Clinton Yates. I didn't get to talk to him. And this gentleman also was featured as in that Big City Greens hockey.
Okay.
They did. He was there, and then the shocker, and I will kid you not, I teared up, my jaw hit the floor. This ESPN broadcaster, Michelle Smallman, I didn't know that she was still with ESPN because I had stopped watching ESPN as much as I used to. It used to be that ESPN was on my TV, on my radio from like the time I woke up till I went to bed. And then just over time, various personalities that I enjoyed, moved on or whatnot. And so I kind of drifted away. And she was a producer. So she was more behind the scenes, but yet she had a voice within some of my favorite ESPN programming. Now she's a morning host, and she was at our event, and I got to find that out, and we got to talk about her career, and so excited. And I tuned in this morning, and I'm like, today was just the greatest day. I've listened to ESPN more today than I probably have in the past 3 months. Because it just rekindled how much I enjoy ESPN, and it helped me find some of the voices that I didn't realize were still there because they weren't where I knew them to be, and I kind of just lost that particular part. But the hosts of the event, you have like a tour guide. It's kind of like Adventures by Disney, where you have a Disney host.
Okay.
Care of you. He made sure that we didn't get lost along the way, kept the group together. He heard me talking about how much I enjoyed Star Wars. And so when we were at the Phillies game, he picked me up this koozie cozy that's like Star Wars and baseball all in one, right?
That's amazing.
That's sweet.
I love that.
So that's my inspiration. That our ESPN experience, the thoughtfulness of guide Mike, who in story we could call Coach Mike, but he was our guide. It's this week's Sensational Seven is going to be loosely inspired by all things sports and Disney. And for those of you just listening, tuning in for the first time, the Sensational Seven is inspired by Sleepy, Happy, Grumpy, Dopey, Sneezy, Bashful, and Doc. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten Hembo, but that was the big deal for you. Not quite so much for me. I mean, it was great. He's wonderful, delightful gentleman. And we're going to be doing a recap of our ESPN experience next week. Ben and I are going to get together and kind of take you all through, kind of do a trip report to let you know just how much fun it is. Because if you have a sports lover in your life, keep an eye out for the next ESPN experience. But starting with Sleepy, I found this packable blanket from the team over at Heroes and Villains. They do really beautiful quality items. We've highlighted it before. In this case, it's the Mandalorian. So you've got some of the items of the Mandalore. You have some of the imagery that you've seen in Boba Fett's I don't want to say costume, but gear. I'll say
uniform. I mean, yeah, not quite. His armor.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Armor. Armor is the correct word. For Happy, I picked up this box lunch. It is a baseball jersey. It has Rebel 77, of course, the year it came out. On the back, it says Skywalker. This is in that bright orange color that you saw all of them wearing as they made their way into that Death Star trench. For grumpy, okay. Think of this. You're at a ball game, you reach into the cooler, and stuff just isn't cold anymore. Ha! You could be if you had these Darth Vader ice blocks.
What is that?
It's from Igloo. It is Darth Vader's head helmet.
Okay.
And it's got that liquid inside. You can freeze it, and then when you throw these in your bag, it keeps things cold.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Fun is that, right?
I love it.
For dopey, I often go with jewelry because of his sparkling eyes in the mind. But in this case, I'm going with our friends at Enso. They have those silicone rings that you can wear either, because you want to add to your collection, or perhaps you want to set aside your beautiful jewelry that you wear, but you still want to have that maybe that wedding band on. So in this case, it is the adorable BB-8 with some floral, some beautiful hibiscus kind of etched into the ring. I know that you've had a chance to sample some of the items. They've sent a few over, Becca. So if you have not been aware of that, be sure to check out Laughing Place for our reviews of Enso ring. For sneezy, you want to avoid getting a cold. What better way to do that than a nice pair of socks? And in this case, defend the Empire. We got the Chiefs. I hope I'm right that they're defending champions. Somebody can let me know in the chat.
Pretty sure.
I like to describe.
This would be two years in a row. I think they're hoping for a three-peat, right?
I like to describe myself as a sports casual and an ESPN passionate, because I am so bad. I love to watch sports, but I never retain it unless it's my personal team. Then I care. But otherwise, right. I don't know. But I'm going to say that it was because I went to Disney and saw Patrick Mahomes in a parade. Mm-hmm. So to me, that means he was a champion. And I appreciate it. Gio coming in and giving me a yes. Kyle coming in and saying they're going for a three-peat. So there you go. If you're bashful, you don't want to be too overt. This is subtle. Kind of, on the front, it's just a nice sky blue. But then on the back, it features one of the greatest sports of the galaxy. It is pod racing. You got to love the sport of pod racing. So come on.
Yes.
I'm a NASCAR girl. In fact, if you didn't know, this week's was the big Darlington race, and it has some fun. Michael Jordan is now a team owner over there in the world of NASCAR, and there's some fun, I will say, mythology that developed linking his flu game and this week's race. If you haven't checked that out and you enjoy sports, give that a check. And finally, I'm going to go with Doc. Kind of foundational. So I'm just going to pick a simple jersey. In this case, it's from the people over at Team Liquid. It's a Star Wars soccer jersey, football jersey, European football. So soccer. Yes. So you've got that Imperial logo on the front, simple Starfield design on it.
Yeah, so, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, that kind of will finish it off. So there's my Sensational Seven for this week. Like I say, I had a really great time rediscovering how much I love sports and ESPN, and so I am truly grateful for Ben taking my family on the trip. And you will hear more about it next week when we get together, when he gets back from his current journey. So with that, Becca, we have this week's shopping list.
No, I know. I was like, yeah, this week's Sensational Seven. No, this week's shopping list. And we have a bunch of new arrivals at Disney Store. We've talked about some stuff today. There's a few pins. There's some Barefoot Dreams sweatshirts. There's a Mickey and Friends collection. There's a bunch of artwork. There's a ton over at Disney Store. Speaking of sweatshirts, we also have have the jack-o'-lantern sweatshirt, which is Mickey Mouse jack-o'-lantern. It's really, really cute, really cozy. I love that they're playing up that jack-o'-lantern theme this year. We had previously written about the Lego Nightmare Before Christmas collection coming to Lego itself, but now it is available at Disney Store as well. So we've updated our article with that. And then we're talking about sports jerseys. Box Lunch has a whole bunch of Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, everything, you name it, and not just baseball jerseys, but you've got basketball, like the sleeveless basketball tops. You've got
race jackets, motocross, some good stuff.
It's very, very good stuff. So lots there for a variety of fans. And then the Barefoot Dreams princess blankets have also popped up over at Disney Store. We talked about those last week in celebration of World Princess Week. But yeah, there's another place where you can secure those. If you are a Magic Key holder and you are at the Disneyland Resort this week, I think yesterday they started doing the exclusive Ursula card, and that's going to be available while supplies last through the 5th. If you're a fan of Deadpool and Wolverine, they have an Art of the Movie book, hardcover book with just all sorts of gorgeous pictures. I believe that's in a pre-order state right now. And then there's also a Hano Studios Iron Man figure that is available for pre-order. And then finally, Sideshow, is that right? Hot Toys has Grand Admiral Thrawn, and the character from the live action series, or that iteration of Thrawn. So I want to say it's Lars Mikkelsen's persona is that the name of the actor?
I believe you're correct. That sounds right. That sounds right to me as well. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, lots of fun stuff happening over at Laughing Place. Lots of great merchandise to check out.
Very cool. Oh, I am so glad you got to see your niece. I'm sorry, I've just been thinking about that.
No, it was a blast. We had a really, really great time.
My parents just sent me a picture of my little niece. It looks like she's getting ready to start walking. She's already pulling herself up in the crib. So yeah, hearing that you got to meet yours makes me very, very happy.
Oh, and I should also say I have 2 nephews. My one nephew just turned 2 on the 1st, and my mom had asked Kyle when he was out at Expo or at D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, to get some Mickey ears for him. So he has his very own Mickey ear hat. So that kind of fits with this. So yeah, my one nephew had his 2nd birthday, and then I got to meet my niece. All sorts of fun.
Oh, so wonderful. Okay, well, usually I would promo our evening trivia contest, but my son and husband are currently traveling still, so they won't be here tonight. So I will say, stick around, Laughing Place. If you enjoy all things Disney, hit that ring that bell so you get notified, because we come at you live frequently throughout the week. And we also are posting videos of interviews that we are able to do, POVs of experiences within the Disney parks. We have team on the West Coast and the East Coast, so we do our best to keep you informed on all things Disney. Thank you, Caleb, for stopping by. Gio, you're right, they do. They grow up fast. Oh, niece starting 1st grade. Oh, that's cool.
That's very cool.
So we will see you all next week. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.